chapter 6. Then, seeking the enemy, he prohibited the soldiers from ravishing of Asia. He prefaced, he spoke, saying they should spare their things and not destroy them, which they had come to possess. So they were coming here to conquer, to get a lot of wealth. They shouldn't destroy it. In his army, there were 32,000 foot soldiers, 4,500 knights, 182 ships. This, such a small handful, the orb of the world, whether it is more admirable that he won. So here it means with such a small handful of men, is it more admirable that he won the whole world, conquered the whole world, or that he had dared to attack it? It's uncertain. When he had chosen an army for such a dangerous war, it was not the robust juveniles, nor the first flowering of age people, the people who just become adults, but it was the veterans. Most of them, even who had looks like they'd served out their military length, so a lot of them had probably retired. That's what that means. Those who had militarized, these had served with his father and uncle, were who he chose. Okay. Emeritus was the veteran. There's a female noun comes from it as well for a retired woman. But your past your service worn out, burnt out, but mainly veteran. Where were we? So that it was not his tam quam correlatives, tam and quam, not so much soldiers as the teachers of soldiers you would think were chosen. The ranks also, the orders of them, no one, unless they were a sexagenarian, 60 years of old, duxeted, I believe, so that if you were to see the leaders of the camps, you would say you were seeing a senate of some prior age of the Republic. 7. And so, no one was a fugitive in battle, no one fled, but he was thinking of victory. Nor was it in his feet was the hope to anyone, but in his brawn, his muscles, his arms, literally. Against this, contrarily, King Darius of Persia, he aggravated the matter, conducted the matter with confidence and nothing of astuteness or cunningness or treachery, affirming to his people that secretive plans basically would be a furtive victory or deceiving victory. And neither did he ward off the enemy from his boundaries of his kingdom, but he accepted them into the intimate part, the interior of his kingdom. Ratus, he thought it was gloriosus to fight off in a war, win a war, than not to admit or not to have the war. Therefore, the first congression, the first coming together, was in the plains of Adrastus. In the line of the Persians, there were 600,000 soldiers. Apparently that just means a lot. In Latin they use that just as a common word, which not less by the art or skill of Alexander than by the virtual valour of the Macedonians. They were superadded, they were overcome, and they turned their backs, so they ran away. And so there was a magna cage, a great slaughter of the Persians. Concerning the army of Alexander, 9 foot soldiers, 120 horse riders fell, which the king, at his expense, for the solacing of the rest of them, he humatus them, put them in the ground, buried them. He gave equestrian statues, and to the relatives of them, he gave them immunity from tax. After the victory, more parts of Asia defected to him. He guested at also many wars with the prefects of Darius, who were no longer so much with arms than with terror. He conquered because of his name, with terror. While these things were agunting, Meanwhile, by the indications or witness of a captive, there was deferred to him some news that there was insidious, what are they, treachery, ambushes or something, for him by Lysania the Alexandrian, son-in-law of Antipater, who was in charge of Macedonia. He was preparing these treacheries and ambushes or whatever, betrayal. 2. Because of this cause, he was fearing lest if he should be killed, there would arise some revolutionist motion in Macedonia, so he had him kept in chains. After this, he sought the Gordian knot city, which is placed between Phrygia Major and Minor, of which city, being obtained or in control, not so much a desire took him for booty, or not so much a desire grabbed him for monetary rewards, but that he'd heard in this city, in the temple of Jove, the yoke of Gordian was placed, of which knot, if someone should solve it, all of Asia would be ruled by him, according to an ancient oracle had sang or pronounced this. Nearly done. The cause of this matter and the origin is Illa. Gordius, when in his regions with hired oxen was ploughing, birds began to fly around him of all types,